Hello, good evening. I'm Ajit Kumar Jha, the editor of the Public Global and CEO of Power Pixar. And today, I'm going to discuss the Bihar. I'm going to discuss Bihar. Of course, all of us know that in the autumn of this year, in the months of October, November, Bihar is going to have state assembly elections. So in that context, I'm going to discuss Bihar, but the topic of debate today is Nitish Kumar, the Bihar chief minister, pipping Modi, the prime minister of India? Or in simpler terms, is Nitish dominating the agenda, the numbers, the strategy, and almost everything else in Bihar? So if you come to Bihar, which I have, I've been traveling in Bihar for the last 1 week. The picture you get from Delhi is, oh, BJP is running the state. It's the Prime Minister Modi who will be instrumental in the conclusion of Bihar elections. Bihar will move the way BJP wants. But the moment you arrive in Bihar, you get a completely different picture. It's Nitish running the show. So what I'll do is today, I'll give you about 8 takeaways on this entire issue of how I think Nitish is trumping Modi in Bihar. Number one, let's start with the ticket distribution, what we call game of numbers. The earlier idea was that the ticket distribution this time will be in favor of BJP. Modi will basically decide the Bihar ticket distribution. But what happened, or what is happening or about to happen, is just the opposite. And the reason is that Chief Minister Nitish Kumar went to Delhi to attend the Niti Aayog meeting, but as protest, he walked out of that meeting. He did not attend the Niti Aayog's meeting. And by the way, it was not only Nitish Kumar who walked out of the Niti Aayog meeting. It was also Mamata Banerjee, West Bengal chief minister. Similarly, some of the southern chief ministers, none of them attended. And Prime Minister Modi was very angry about it. In fact, when he went to Alipur Dwar in West Bengal for that Sindoor campaign, you might have heard that he almost castigated Mamata for not attending the meeting. And of course, he castigated Mamata for several other reasons, but he was totally mum on the issue of Nitish Kumar walking out. You wouldn't have heard one word of Modi speaking against Nitish Kumar on this issue of Nitish Kumar walking out of the meeting. And why did Nitish Kumar walk out of the meeting? He bargained. He said that the distribution of seats for the Bihar Assembly election is going to be only on the basis of Lok Sabha 2024. In Lok Sabha 2024, the JDU performed better than the BJP, although they contested an equal number of seats. On that basis, the distribution is most likely going to be the following: about 103 seats for the JDU, maybe 101 to 102 for the BJP, so the below the JDU, and about 40 seats left for the other smaller partners, namely Chirag Paswan and Mr. Maji and the other parties. So therefore, the edge is for JDU in this election. Of course, we have to see how many of those 103 seats JDU is going to win, how many of those, let's say 100 to 101 seats, BJP is going to win. But the distribution of seats is in favor of Nitish Kumar, in favor of JDU, and JDU has pipped BJP on the issues of the numbers game. So that's the first takeaway. But a more important takeaway is the agenda. The agenda of the elections is basically going to be caste survey. Now, someone from the opposition will turn around and say, but Rahul Gandhi is the one who has been championing the caste survey all over the country, not only in Bihar. In fact, if you remember Lok Sabha elections, Rahul Gandhi was the one, if you watched him, he was basically taking the constitution, it to his head like that. And he was pointing out that the BJP has a game plan of changing the constitution if it gets 400 seats, and that would have a negative effect on Dalits, on the backward classes, the pichhada and others. And that, it seems, turned around the 2024 elections, in which the Congress doubled its seats to almost 99 from 50s, and the BJP slid from about 300 plus to 40. So, and we saw that the BJP mainly lost seats in states like Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, etc. And one of the reason was because it was the Dalits and the so-called MBCs, extremely backward or most backward caste, which kind of moved away from the BJP along with the Muslims towards the regional parties and the Congress. So anyone in the opposition will say, well, the whole caste census of the BJP is basically inspired by Rahul Gandhi, but that's not true, because the original person, the original idea of the caste survey was given by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. He was the one who in the year 2022 started a comprehensive caste survey. One, identification of caste, and secondly, its economic prerequisites, economic characteristics. And there was a massive caste survey which he announced on October 2nd, 2023. And it was only 1 week later that Rahul Gandhi jumped on the bandwagon. Most of you are aware of this. So let me just end by saying that Mandal ended up beating Kamandal right now. In fact, if you look at Mr. Modi's U-turn on this entire issue, then you might remember that Modi ji earlier, I think it was the election of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. Right after that, Modi ji made this categorical statement where he ended up saying that other people divide the country on caste lines, but for me, and Modi is saying, but for me, for himself, there are only 4 castes. And what are the 4 castes that he talked about? Women, youth, farmers, and the poor. The same person who is talking about 4 castes, women, youth, farmers, and the poor, suddenly by April 30th, 2024, does a complete U-turn, 180 degrees turn, and then in the Cabinet Committee on Political Affairs meeting, they decided to do caste enumeration in the upcoming census of 2026-2027. So this Modi's U-turn on the issue of caste, as I pointed out, is inspired by, or I would say a response to, Nitish Kumar's idea of the caste survey. Remember, Nitish Kumar is a socialist. He came from this tradition of Ram Manohar Lohia JP and the JP movement. And he has always believed in Mandal, like which was defined by Karpuri Thakur in Bihar in the year, one would argue, 1978 to 80, when he formed the government during the Janata Party. He started the Mandal Commission, and Nitish Kumar is a strong votary of that. In fact, Nitish Kumar has gone a step ahead, and that would be my third takeaway, that Nitish Kumar went ahead and he sort of gave the idea, he gave the focus on Mahadalits, he gave the focus on Pasmanda Muslims. He gave the focus on several other communities which at one time the BJP was opposed to. Why? Because the BJP thought that this would break Hindutva unity. But Nitish Kumar, having a more inclusive notion of communities, he argued strongly for the Mahadalit Commission. Then he strongly argued for Pasmanda Muslims. And in fact, recently, in 2011, he started something called the Bihar Rajya Swarna Ayog, which was meant for upper caste. He ended up spending about 500 crores for upper caste kids who are very bright, whose parents get less than 1.5 lakh rupees per annum. It didn't do much other than that, but recently he has reconstituted that commission, and the focus is to give at least 10% reservation for economically poor EWS upper caste. So Nitish Kumar's notion of caste and community is much more inclusive than the Hindutva logic of BJP. The fourth takeaway is, of course, the issue of leadership. In the last 20 years, JDU and the BJP has had an alliance for close to 17 years, but no question of who the leader is. It's always Nitish Kumar. The chief minister is Nitish Kumar, and believe me, it is going to be Nitish Kumar again for 2025 state assembly elections. You might hear something contrary in Delhi or in other circles where you have this very superficial way of looking at things. BJP is growing, JDU is declining. Actually, if you come to Bihar, it's the reverse. It's exactly the reverse. In fact, JDU, a lot of people will tell you, oh, they are run by basically BJP elements inside the JDU, but that's not true. There is a very intense struggle between the earlier socialists and the Sanghis inside the JDU. Some people in the JDU came from the BJP, so they kind of moved JDU in that direction, but there is a strong section of socialists who, for example, pull the JDU in the other direction, and Nitish is the final decision maker. Quite contrary to what some people, youngsters like Chirag Paswan at times in the past, or Prashant Kishore these days, they keep hitting at Nitish Kumar has lost his mind. He's got different kinds of diseases like dementia. It's absolutely silly. In fact, if it was the case, would he be bargaining in the Niti Aayog meeting? And then not only bargaining, he protested. And it was his decision, although some people were telling him to patch up with the BJP, but Nitish Kumar did not listen. So he is very, very focused on what he wants for Bihar. Let's move the fourth takeaway. Although Bihar has been demanding special status for a long time, ever since Bihar and Jharkhand has been divided, and the center has not agreed to the special status formula, even in the past, right from Atal Bihari Vajpayee's time, later on during Dr. Manmohan Singh's time, and during Narendra Modi's time. But the special development package that Nitish Kumar demanded, not the special status, but a massive development package to redo, reinvent the infrastructure of Bihar, has been granted. And you come to Bihar and you move around, and the kind of transformation going on in the infrastructure is absolutely amazing in terms of expansion of roads, in terms of number of bridges, in terms of a new airport in Patna, which has been inaugurated, of course, by the Prime Minister. Also, a new 40 kilometers from Patna is Beta. Another airport is going to start there. Number of colleges, etc. Education package. You know that under Nitish Kumar, Bihar has had an IIT. It has All India Institute of Medical Sciences. It has a new law school. It has several others. I could go on and on. But there is a visible transformation of Bihar in infrastructure, in other aspects, which is very, very visible. You talk to people in the state and they will tell you they have never seen this kind of money being spent. And as a result, you have electricity almost for 24 hours in the villages. You have drinking water even for at least 3 hours. You get direct drinking water, which was not possible in the past. The Jal Nal scheme of the Nitish Kumar government, similarly several other initiatives. Let me go to the next takeaway, which is the women's issue. In fact, Nitish Kumar was the first person in the country to do this special focus of this poor state of Bihar, a focus towards women. Several such schemes. I mean, most of us know about the cycle scheme, that young girls would get bicycle if they would move up to the upper classes, if they would end up performing better. They ended up getting much more than a bicycle. They would, in fact, end up getting free education in colleges. At the same time, lots of focus on poorer women through several schemes at the ground level, and most important, prohibition, which despite all opposition by all parties, Nitish Kumar government stuck to. And as a result, one of the latest surveys shows that the JDU is gaining a 36% gender gap advantage in favor of Nitish Kumar among women. So the number two, the challenger in this case, Tejashwi Yadav, is behind by 36% when it comes to women. Now, that is an extraordinary gender gap. I have been covering elections for more than 3 decades, never seen a gender gap of 36% in any survey. Finally, pivotal role played by Nitish Kumar. When Nitish Kumar jumped from an alliance with BJP, when he moved to an alliance with RJD in 2015, and again back to BJP, and then again towards RJD in more recent years, and then again back to BJP, his critics called him a Paltu Ram. Yes, of course you can call him a Paltu Ram. It was an opportunistic calculation, but it is also this pivotal role Nitish Kumar ends up getting. He can bargain which side he will join. He can bargain how many seats his party can get. He can bargain the main agenda, as I pointed out, which in this case, caste survey, influencing Mr. Modi's caste census, thereby Mr. Modi doing 180 degrees jump. So the point is, this gets Mr. Nitish Kumar what in political election language is known as the pivotal position. Nitish Kumar holds that pivotal position. He can switch sides, he can decide the agenda, he can bargain for the numbers, and he always ends up winning. And believe me, you'll have Nitish Kumar again for the next 5 years, despite all those long pronouncements by Prashant Kishore and all those schemes by Chirag Paswan. These are two young men in a hurry. They don't have a clear-cut position on how they will transform Bihar, but they keep attacking Nitish Kumar, because they are both in bed with the BJP, but at the same time, they are ambitious. They want to become future chief ministers. But the truth is, right now, Nitish Kumar is in the strongest position, both versus his adversaries as well as versus his rivals. In fact, the only challenger at this point in Bihar, when you move around, for Nitish Kumar is perhaps Tejashwi Yadav of the RJD in alliance with Congress and the left parties. Finally, the point is, Nitish Kumar is a very soft person. This is my last takeaway. Nitish Kumar is a very soft person. If you ever sit and chit-chat with him, he will convince you. But just like Dr. Manmohan Singh, he says very few words. He'll listen to you for long, then come up with a few words, and then he will end up convincing you. Contrast that with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi speaks for over an hour. He's sort of almost, at the top of his voice. He's rather dramatic when he speaks. He brings his hand out, and because as a young man, he did drama, so he's able to give that dramatic effect. So that's why his critics sometimes use all kinds of language to sort of criticize him by calling him FEKU, a faku, a person who throws around a lot. He talks too much, but in terms of real agenda, he takes a lot of U-turns. As I pointed out, U-turn on the caste census, U-turn, if you remember, on the issue of agriculture when the farmers' protest took place in 2020. Remember that 13-month-long farmer agitation? It was Prime Minister Modi who withdrew and finally gave up his three Kale Kanun, which was known at that time. He has done a number of U-turns despite the fact that when he speaks, he always says as if he's the final person. And then, of course, recently we saw his big U-turn on Operation Sindoor, the ceasefire. In fact, the country is still wondering why the ceasefire was done on 4 days. Was it pressure from Donald Trump? Was it because Pakistan and was using Chinese weapons, which ended up hitting our aircraft? Was it a third reason? What was it? The country still hasn't understood, despite all the campaigns of Operation Sindoor. So all these U-turns of Mr. Modi shows you that the person calling the shots, at least in Bihar, is Nitish Kumar, as I pointed out, in terms of numbers, in terms of agenda, in terms of the development focus, in terms of leadership, in terms of special status for women, special status for the Pasmanda Muslims, the Mahadalits, the various coalitions that he has built up. Remember the final thing, Nitish Kumar comes from a community. People say that Biharis always vote on caste. The biggest puzzle you have to ponder, Nitish Kumar comes from a community of Kurmis, which is supposed to be an OBC caste, highly educated, but an OBC caste. That caste has less than 3% vote, 2.89% vote in Bihar, and Nitish Kumar has been chief minister for how long? For 2 decades. He's the longest running chief minister of Bihar ever. How did he manage with less than 3% vote? If you understand that, then you'll realize that Bihar doesn't vote on caste. It votes on strategy. It votes on agenda. It votes on the development of economic agenda. Why? Because Bihar is a very poor state. And that is why the opposition, this time, Mahagathbandhan, they have only 3 agenda: unemployment, out-migration, and inflation. They are focusing completely on the fact, because they see this great development of infrastructure going around, so they cannot make that an agenda. So they are talking of real issues, of course, and that is, again, as I said, the youth needs jobs because they don't get jobs. Therefore, they are out migrating in a massive way from Bihar. And the failure during Corona, the health issue, and the education issue. I'll end here. My final point, when it comes to Bihar, Mandal beats Kamandal. Mr. Nitish Kumar pipped Mr. Modi on all these takeaways that I talked about. Thank you very much.